It's just a video. What if the USA left NATO and joined an alliance with Russia? The unthinkable has happened, the Moscow Pact. Now, obviously, as you can see, there still is a NATO in this universe. It's just a NATO without the USA. Also, I want to mention, it's not just the USA and Russia. Russia has another NATO equivalent. They call it the CSTO with Belarus, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. Sorry, reverse those two. So what team will come out on top? Honestly, it might not be either one. I could see like China and India just winning this game. One of my new favorite statistic category to look at in this game is the alliance mode. So right now, the Moscow Pact is bigger than the Paris Syndicate. That is NATO. This is CSTO with America, whatever. The only reason that the Moscow Pact is so big is, like, as we saw, Russia's just massive in this game. It's crazy. Funny enough, I really think this game is going to come down to the US versus Canada. Canada going to be the leading NATO member in North America. Well, the only basic NATO member in North America. It could be anyone's game. Honestly, it's kind of a coin toss. Like, Canada's really big, and both nations are not too far away from each other's capital. Let's see who comes out on top now. Obviously, we're starting this game off with a war, with the war against Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine is obviously not in this world's NATO. They can join it, though, however, but I don't think they're going to do that in the very beginning. We also have two NATO members coming together here in the Atlantic Ocean between Portugal and Canada. Also, Canada, everyone's giving some money away. These are the puppets. So the Danish, the Danish are key factors here. The Danish were sounding the alarms that the USA bad. Maybe we will get the Greenland territory, the Greenland that's actually feeding them quite a bit of money over here. There has been a peace deal, and obviously Ukraine has been chopped up pretty bad. Let's see if the Ukrainians now join the new NATO without the USA. Oh man, I'm not even really paying attention to all these other things going on. So there's lots of African powers being destroyed. I'm sure there's some alliances that maybe are beginning to form up. Nope, not yet. It's too early in the game. Also, Spain has the Canary Islands that are feeding them. Also, the French have territory all around the world. All these wars are really just taking place in Africa currently. Oh man, there go the Congo. Ooh, who is that? Botswana and Eswatini have both just been destroyed. Really just waiting to see what kind of response we're going to see from the rest of the world. I want to know who joins what alliance, or I think everyone's just going to kind of form their own teams probably. Watch someone like Brazil win this game. I could totally see that. Brazil is a major power here, and they always win out in South America. Ooh, South Africa getting pretty big. There go the Congo and Angola. They got most of that territory. By the way, I just absolutely love that we now have flags in this game. Like, it's really cool. And also, it's like pixel art flag. That I love that stuff. Ooh, look at that. Romania and Ukraine both going after Moldova. Of course, Romania being a part of the new NATO. All quiet in North America. However, it's not so quiet in Brazil. Whoa, South America. Brazil, why are you fighting three different enemies at the same time? That does not seem very smart. It's not even like a team or anything. Just Brazil, what is going on? I might be wrong. Oh, you have Peru helping you a little bit fighting against Colombia, because Colombia is pushing into the Amazon rainforest. And then who is this? St. Lucia moving into Venezuela? I know Venezuela is struggling a lot right now in the world, but this is ridiculous. St. Lucia, the little island that could. Okay, Brazil's pieced out, and I think wait, did Brazil puppet what? Oh, okay, I thought Colombia puppeted Brazil. No, it's actually the opposite. Brazil has a new puppet now. It's Colombia. What the heck? Ukraine is fighting NATO right now? Whoa, and they just destroyed Hungary, and they destroyed Poland, and they destroyed Romania. What is going on? Oh my goodness. We have a corrupted Ukraine. They've gone demon mode. I was just reviewing a map on the main channel about how, like, Ukraine technically now has the second biggest army in continental Europe, just behind Russia. So maybe this is not that far-fetched, kind of. Wow, Ukraine literally took out 4 different nations all at once, Slovakia included. I forgot to mention them. Okay, well, the new NATO now looks really a lot weaker. Oh, and they're going after Turkey? Oh, no, this is Russia going after Turkey. Russia just puppeted Turkey. Russia just forced Turkey to leave the new NATO. Oh boy. Russians looking like they're only going to continue to get bigger and bigger and move farther and farther away from the second place nation, Canada. A little bit of peace right now in South America. Of course, there's definitely not any peace in the African continent as well as the Middle East. Is this? Oh, that's Yemen. Okay, so Ethiopia has gotten bigger. I thought the Ethiopians jumped into the Arabian Peninsula for a second there. Oh man, Saudi Arabia and Yemen both beating up Oman. There goes, I think that's the Western Sahara. Oh, there we go. Italy getting some victories for the new NATO. They took out Malta and then some of the city-states. San Marino's now gone. They haven't cored that yet, though. What are they going to do with Ukraine? Also, what is Ukraine going to join? Ukraine very likely might join Russia and the USA here. Oh my gosh, they're going to take out, who else are they going to take out? They're taking out Bulgaria. Okay. They could potentially join NATO right now. Oh, they're at war with one of the NATO members, Denmark. Okay, well, this is either going to make or break Ukraine right here. They could knock out a CSTO member, Belarus. They're very close to that capital city. Ooh, there goes Georgia now. Russia getting a lot of their dreams, getting out Georgia. They also just puppeted Azerbaijan. Oh my gosh, but the Ukrainians, they took out Belarus and they just took Moscow. I don't know if that city's a good location, bro. That might not be a great spot for your new capital city. Russia, what the heck is happening? They just lost they lost another city, but They're gone. Oh my, they're not gone completely, but the Russians were forced to release 2 different states, the Ural Republic, my bad, and then Saka? What is this Russia? I wasn't sure if like they grabbed the Philippines. This is just a very similar green. Okay, so the Philippines are still independent, so is Papua New Guinea. So what is our alliance map even looking like at this point? Okay, so we do have some new alliances forming up. Actually, now new NATO doesn't look quite as bad as the CSTO. Moscow Coalition, believe it or not, is still the #1 alliance in the world in terms of land area. Then it's NATO, and now we have a new Beijing pact between China and Japan. What the hell? That's cursed. Desperate times, I guess. Well, now what did the Ukrainians do? The Ukrainians. Oh, Russia still has this puppet over Turkey. Oh, and the Russians were slowly annexing parts of Turkey. You got a pretty big Armenia. Oh, so Russia still has all their puppets. So they're still looking pretty okay. What is this? What are these pixels doing here? Is that supposed to be there? Serbia now attacking NATO, interestingly enough. Oh, is Serbia now in NATO? What the heck? Serbia is in NATO. They might get destroyed though. Oh, now there's revolts. Poland is back and so is Romania. Let's see if they actually are able to. And so is Bulgaria, but I don't know if they're... Oh, they might just get destroyed instantly. So these are new nations that are not a part of NATO. They were forced to now be neutral. Oh, this is actually not... Austria is... Oh, that's right. Austria wasn't in NATO to begin with. They just formed an alliance with Serbia of all people. They have a very similar looking color to NATO, but they're not a part of the same thing. US still very, very quiet. Oh, Mexico's finally going to war. Mexico and Cuba are teaming up. And there we go. Ultimately, this is what this team really comes down to. The war between the US and Canada. Which side will win? Right now, the US is losing a lot of pixels. This is going to be the thing, like... Whoever wins in North America is probably going to be the... Oh my gosh. They were just forced to release Nunavut. The Canadians were forced to... That's a whole 12 people in their population they just lost. What are they going to do without Nunavut? That's weird because the US actually lost land, but then they forced the Canadians to release Nunavut. Oh, and actually look at Greenland. Greenland was taken over by halfway Canada, and then the other one was Norway. I just really want to see if anyone is going to join some of these new alliances. Oh, someone did. Afghanistan joined. Well, that's weird. So Afghanistan joined the CSTO. Nobody's joined new NATO yet. They really need some new African members though, I feel. Still a lot of members and players here that are looking pretty powerful. Oh, that's right, the French still have a lot of overseas territories. Never cut out the French in this game. The French are always pretty powerful. They also have this stuff over here in Oceania. And look at the puppet map mode. Still a lot of puppets all around the world. Now the USA is going after Mexico at this point. Obviously Russia cannot help them out with that. Russia is trying to do their own thing. So they just grabbed Austin, Texas. And the US not looking good. This is also bringing down the overall power of that Moscow pact as the United States begins to lose more and more land. Now I've noticed that I feel like with this... Oh boy. I feel like a lot of the... Oh, did you just... Yep, we have now a new Texas. I love this game always has the greatest updates. So now we actually have real life states that some of these nations are now forced to release. This is a very strange looking blobby Texas. This is going to be a huge hit to the CSTO though, because obviously NATO is not a part of any team. Watch Texas join new NATO. I'm obviously calling them like de facto new NATO, a little bit easier that way. The Russians actually annexed Western Turkey. Oh, but they just got taken out. So there you go. The Russians no longer control... Turkey's going to get their independence. Let's have a war between Algeria and Morocco occurring. Bam, there goes. We lost Mali, Cyprus, and Senegal. So Turkey on the comeback, but again, they are not a part of NATO. We got Thailand making moves. They just took out Malaysia, and they now might take out Vietnam and Cambodia next. Yep, there goes Cambodia. They've been wanting to do that for a while, I'm assuming. And Algeria is going to take out Tunisia, it looks like. This world is getting pretty messy. There's still 157 nations in the world, though. Of course, the Greece and Turkey war. Okay, so new NATO is facing their next threat. Who is this exactly? Oh, Ukraine. Ukraine is still here? I didn't even realize Ukraine. Oh, so Belarus also popped out of you. Okay, Ukraine just got way too big, way too fast. This Europe is looking disgusting. Yeah, you need Germany to go old German mode. New NATO's not looking too bad, actually. I mean, Estonia's still here, Finland's still here. Ukraine is slowly making a comeback. Actually, yeah, Ukraine still has a sizable population. Their capital is in Crimea, and they're allied to Turkey. Ooh, is the CSTO now at war with Iran? That's an interesting one because you would think they would maybe be allied, but I guess not. Now the Germans moving in after Austria, and the Brits just took out Ireland. Boom, there goes Austria. Is Russia going to try? Oh, Russia allied to everybody, or at least allied to these guys, so that's why the alliance is still looking so good. The US is definitely not looking good though. Afghanistan starting to really get deep into Iran. Oh, but the tides have turned. There goes Sudan now. When are you guys going to force Switzerland into... oh, Switzerland's about to die right now. The French and Germans were sick of them being independent. There's no more independence in World War III. And there goes Serbia. At least they were puppeted. Poland now attacking NATO. And it's wow, where have I seen this one before? Germany and Italy. They're attacking the Poles. Oh my gosh, what is going on? There's so many little icons. Oh, a lot of people are getting their independence. A lot of revolts are obviously occurring. China and Japan now struggling against Taiwan and South Korea. Is there an alliance between these two? I think there is. In fact, it is just these two nations. That's crazy. Oh, so there goes South Korea. Okay, maybe it will be short-lived. So the Italians actually got back a lot of these revolts. I mean, these are now their new puppets. That might be a good thing for them. They're going to feed them gold. Maybe it's not, in fact, over. Taiwan still fighting for their life. This also, where have I seen this one before? It's looking awfully like World War II, except instead of the Japanese invading mainland China, it's the Taiwanese. They're just getting revenge for the Chinese Civil War, I guess. Still not a lot of movement or change in South America, surprisingly. And now the US doesn't want to fight anybody. They still only have these faraway CSTO members. Meanwhile, new NATO looking a lot better, although we have to wait and see if Canada ends up attacking Nunavut. Really watch these African powers grow. They're getting awfully big. In fact, the biggest nation in the world right now is Canada, then it's Russia, then it's Saka. Oh my gosh. So Japan, Mongolia, China, and now the released Saka. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They're now fighting all of the CSTO. Oh, look at India and Pakistan and Nepal all form like the South Asia team, basically. Here's the puppet map mode. Still not a lot of puppets. I mean, usually the AI likes to eat the puppets as soon as they can. The wars, they're still playing out in Africa. There's a lot of nations still to get through. And something to keep in mind is the terrain map mode as well. I love this terrain map mode. It looks so good. There's now alliances all around the world. Oh, yeah, and there's new ones forming all the time. Belarus now versus Poland. Also, I think the French are expanding their territory. Yeah, the French are slowly expanding here in South America. Look at big old Guyana down here. What, the Iceland? Wait, what? How did Iceland get out of NATO? Did they get revived? They must have been revolt. Oh, Texas is now at war with the US. Oh, wow. Okay, well, there will be no more Alamo 2. One was enough. And now the Americans are... Oh, they just lost Puerto Rico. Lost Puerto Rico to the Dominican Republic. The Russians have now reconnected their territory. What's this place called again? Vladagaskov. There it is. Ooh, pretty big Peru that's begun to form up. Taking out Panama and Costa Rica. Italy moving in after... Oh, there goes Poland once again. How many times is that going to happen? How did Kurdistan get up here? When did Kurdistan even get here? I've got a lot of questions about that. Oh, and there goes Belarus. Look at the new NATO that's beginning to form. New NATO is back, just with a lot less members. Lithuania is not in NATO, but they'll probably be able to take them out pretty easily unless they want to join NATO. And who is this now? This is Estonia about to take out Ukraine. Bam, the Russians finally got back all of Siberia. They might even take more from Russia. Well, from China. The Russians are very, very close to Tokyo right now. Oh, Russia is coming back slowly but surely. Again, Kurdistan. I don't know how Kurdistan got all these random spots, but all right. The US is looking a lot better now that they've re-annexed Texas again. Forgot the Kurds are now in the U.S. state of Alaska. Oh, look at this green Cuba. It's because Jamaica took this over. Jamaica took over Cuba and Haiti. And look at that. So Moscow coalition is still number one, but NATO also looking very big. I think momentarily new NATO did pass up the CSTO, but then Russia started winning these wars over here. Oh yeah, Russia just puppeted the remainder of China. This is a very weak part of China too. This is like, they don't have any power here. So it's Taiwan and the remainder of Japan. Once again, we've got another NATO, we're back at it. The NATO versus CSTO. Who is Turkey a puppet of? Well, Turkey's about to get forced back into NATO, it appears. Ooh, but now they're having to fight some African powers down this way. Morocco and Libya. Really started to lose that for a second there. Again, we just can't keep these two teams from fighting. They only want to fight. I believe no one's come out in the Americas just yet, but also this Guyana is looking incredible. Also, Canada also got back Nunavut. Nunavut has been re-annexed. Well, that's a very big... Oh, it's India, Pakistan. Okay, so unions are now beginning to form. India, Pakistan. This is the most cursed union. How the hell did they put aside their differences for this? It's the most unrealistic thing that's happened so far. Everything else, feasible. Not this, though. There's 91 countries left. Now the U.S. is going after Jamaica. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Okay, the CSTO, look at... Oh, they just destroyed Estonia. And they also puppeted Italy at the same time. The CSTO looking really good. Wait, who is this? Turkmenistan might be the ones fighting from the inside. Oh, and with that, they forced Italy to betray Germany. I have to admit, even though this is pretty unrealistic, still seeing India and Pakistan form a union, that's still far more unrealistic. But what has happened? Okay, so now is Italy might be fighting for their independence? Oh, NATO is literally just... Wait, how did France leave NATO? NATO is just Canada, the UK, the Iberians, and the Nordic countries now. I can't believe Italy's still going. And now we have the Russians versus... well, they were fighting India, Pakistan for a second there. Oh, Russia's also puppeted Myanmar. Myanmar's a very big force here in Southeast Asia. How's the Philippines not done anything? Oh, I guess it's because they've been allied to Indonesia. Gotta watch Australia. Australia and Papua New Guinea and New Zealand are all on the same team. And they're fighting NATO. Oh, wait, actually, they're not fighting NATO because France is no longer in NATO. There's actually a lot of countries here that are not a part of any team just yet. So who do they join, or do they form their own thing? Netherlands taking back some of those old French territories. They grabbed Paris, where the French are moving into Iberia. There's 70 countries left now. Does not feel like there's 70 countries left. Where are these 70 countries? Are they here in the room with us? Oh, that's a really big African team that's beginning to form in the south here. Ethiopia was getting pretty big, but I don't know if they have the friends. Yeah, just being friends with only Chad is not going to be enough, although that is a pretty Chad friend to have. Venezuela is back. They are a puppet under Guyana. Yeah, this is a nice South American team. Guyana actually did take the Brasilia capital. They've had to revert to, they've moved their capital back to Rio de Janeiro. Brazil has. Oh my gosh, Brazil. Slowly but surely, the Euro Republic is just taking away members from NATO. It's crazy. They now just forced, because once you puppet them, they're not going to rejoin. It tends to be like that. Oh, there goes Portugal. Maybe Sweden does survive this. Oh boy, France is taking out the British. The NATO team just couldn't do it. I don't want to say it's over, because you know what? Finland could start taking, like, Finland could go demon mode right now. Just put a bunch of snipers out there. They tend to be pretty good with that. Oh, the fall of Guyana. Now it's Bolivia that's taking over everything here. Finland, you're really NATO's only hope right now. You got to start winning over here. Okay, if you get back Sweden, that would be nice. There go the Netherlands. The Netherlands. Couldn't say that for a second. Oh, wait, don't. There's no. Oh, I was gonna say. Okay, I thought Jamaica and Peru joined NATO for a second. It's too many similar color teams right now. Which, speaking of, wait, Treaty of. So you're changing the name. Funny enough, I didn't realize that the alliance names changed depending on. It was the Treaty of Moscow before, but because Russia changed their capital to here, it's now the Treaty of. I'm not even gonna be able to pronounce that. That's a really nice little touch from this game. Oh, now it's back to Moscow. I think they put it back over there. I don't know if you'd want to do that. Maybe it was just that treaty name because that was their capital for a long time there. They re-annexed the Euro Republic. Oh no, USA fighting both their neighbors. Oh, this is not looking good. And you don't have, oh, do you have help? Oh, they actually might have some help from the Russians. No, not really. Okay, well, the US got out of that war, but just barely. It is looking really bad for them over here though. I mean, not as bad as NATO. NATO can still win this. Do not forget. I mean, even though they only have like a couple members. Oh, Mexico's in NATO now. That's hilarious. Mexico is, it's just the Nordic countries, some of them, Canada and Mexico. Actually, NATO's changed their name to the Denmark Alliance. Damn alliances be changing their name all the time. I didn't realize that Argentina annexed the UK because of the Falklands. That's usually always how this happens. So we have Argentina in Europe. Bolivia looking pretty good. And they might finally take out Guyana. They're so close. Oh, maybe not. Oh yeah, they puppeted them. Dang, now USA lost just Florida. Florida to the Moroccans. I don't know. Oh, so the, how, oh, well, we'll just talk about this later. US is ripped. So the CSTO losing a pretty big member, or maybe not completely. Oh, that's right. They still have Hawaii, technically. Oh, you've been puppeted. Yeah, it's basically over. Huge win for new NATO, which, I mean, we can't even really call this NATO, but you know, like the way countries evolve in other countries. We got Prussia over my shoulder. They evolved into Germany. This is the new NATO. It's a North American treaty, though. I will say that. The acronym for NATO, the North American Treaty, it's definitely North American, that's for sure. This is so interesting. These teams, it might really come down to the last two nations. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of places dying and getting puppeted. Italy is looking huge. Italy has actually joined Morocco and Libya. Australia also looking pretty good though. Australia, who is taking a big chunk out of China, South Korea, and Japan, causing some problems with the Russia-Euro Republic. Ooh, this team that's forming in the center of the map, they're looking really good because they have, oh yeah, the US is trying their best to fight for their independence. Oh, the US is still looking big just because they have Alaska. I kind of forgot about that. I think they might get annexed by Russia. I bet you that happens. If they are still, oh, they're not in CSTO anymore. Oh, they officially lost that member. Okay, never mind. I don't know who's going to annex this territory. Oh, the Russians might just... Oh, they're now fighting. The U.S. is once again fighting the Russians. It doesn't matter how badly we force them to. They might be friends for a little bit, but man, you know, it's hard to break that habit, right? We fought them for decades and decades during the Cold War, and here they are on their literal deathbed. They're about to die at any moment, and they have to start a war against the Russians last minute. Just get back to their roots. Can't blame them. Is that India taking over, like, large chunks of... Okay, I thought that this... Okay, they just took over the Horn of Africa. Russia is struggling a bit here. Oh, they're fighting two different... Oh, man. They're lucky they have a lot of friends, but they're losing friends fast, and their economy's got to be struggling. Here is... Oh, see, look at the edges. Oh, well, you can't really trust too much about the income map mode. It's still interesting to look at, but yeah, the income map mode's interesting a little bit. Biggest nation by far is still the Russia-Euro Republic. Also, Kazakhstan is in that union as well. Then it's Canada. Things have not changed much. Australia's come to a pretty strong third, and then Bolivia is in fourth. Oh, I think people might have backstabbed some others or what? The new NATO with Mexico has pushed out the Moroccans a little bit. Oh, who's this? Guyana also joined new NATO. NATO is about to lose their only foothold in Europe, though. There's 22 nations. Again, this game does not look like it's holding 22 nations in it. It looks like it's holding maybe 10. Ooh, USA's been annexed once again. Oh, Canada just annexed Mexico. And they've re-puppeted the USA. US just continues to fight for their independence, though. Very big Italy that's formed. Italy, Libya, Finland union. These are NATO traitors. Canada trying is this Canada? No, Morocco trying their best to push out out Argentina from the European area. Oh, the Russians have puppeted Australia. This is looking really bad. It's going to come down to Canada versus Russia. That is clearly going to be the... Oh, wow. Look at Guyana go. And again, this is a Canadian ally. Now the Italians moving into the African front. Bro, you didn't do that well during World War II down here. I don't know if you want to come back down here. This is going to be a pretty big front for the war. The Eastern Front, but it's led by the Italians this time. Pasta's going to get cold out here. Russia just puppeted the Zambia Democratic Republic. Who else is in this? I don't know. You're about to die. Turkmenistan has joined, well, it's just Russia. At this point, this alliance is just the Russia team. It's not even a team, though. It's just Russia. Canada out here trying their best. The Canada's looking pretty good, too, though, so they've puppeted Morocco. This is basically a new Cold War. The world is divided, and Russia and Canada are trying to eat up as many powers. This is good if the Russians, or if the Canadians can get as much of the middle of the map as possible. They need more land area. They can't let the Russians take all of this, especially not all of Africa. But if the Australians get their independence, the Australians did get their independence. Canada's just spiritual NATO at this point. I mean, it's funny because they have all the old NATO territory, so that kind of works. And then some, because they're pretty deep into South America, too. How is Morocco still going? Well, they were running out of money, so they were struggling. Oh, Italy's kicking out a lot of the Canadians from continental Europe. Oh, Samoa still survives in Oceania somehow. Actually, you know what's funny? The U.S. actually still survives. For now. For now, they are a part of the Canadian-Norway-Mexico Treaty. I mean, that's still the name, even though it is just basically Canada. The fact that Italy is still fighting everyone is crazy. Oh, so they're puppeted, though. I love how the U.S. has changed teams and they're now funding the Canadian war, the war against Russia. This is really funny change of heart from the U.S. They are still fighting the Russians occasionally out here in Alaska, too. And here it is. There's 4 nations left. Oh, the USA is finally gone. It's Canada and Russia. Unfortunately, Australia's fighting for Russia right now. Where's the 4th nation at? Oh, there's 3 now. Bro, come on, Canada. Don't do this. I know you wanted to be a part of NATO, bro, but don't do this, bro. Oh, the Canadians are over here in Oceania. How could you betray your allies like this? Oh, well, that's one way to get them to join the Canadian side. All right, well, they're puppeted, and they're feeding Canada money. That works. Oh, that's a pretty big puppet you just got there. You guys don't want to fight? CSTO versus NATO. This is still what's really going on. This is so funny. They actually don't want to fight. They're all just chilling. Oh, Australia just is trying to fight their independence. Everyone's attacking Australia now, bro. There you go. With the help of Australia, Canada and Australia now turning the tides. I don't know. I think the Canadians have to try to annex Australia. If they keep fighting and they keep... Oh, wait. Oh, the Australians keep going back and forth. They keep being puppeted and then not puppeted. Now I think they're under Russia again. Australians can't figure it out. They don't know who they want. And it's funny because they keep feeding money to whether it's Ottawa or Moscow. Okay, well, there they go. It is close. These 2 powers, again, like all game, the Russians are ahead just barely. The Canadians is the closest they've got to catching them in terms of land area. Obviously, that doesn't really matter much here at the very end of the game. It all matters about money. Who is going to be able to generate the most money and also not lose much during the war? This looks like 1980. Try to just say that as fast as possible so that my editor Frank doesn't meme me. It's been like 15 years of me saying that. And here go the Canadians marching on the doorsteps of Moscow, doing what the Germans were never able to do. That was a close one. Felt like a constant back and forth, like a pendulum swinging. Well, there you go. Syrup for all. And big thanks to the people who donate to me on Patreon. I'm Drew, and I identify as an Alabamian supremacist. We're coming for you, Mississippi. Drew's Argentinian Trust Fund. Rip Grandpa. Alexander the Terrible. A Fat Norwal. Carmel S. Connor Pavlik. Frederick Tiblin. King Bear. Garino is best girl. Luxembourg Lover. The Goat. If you'd like your name here, go check out that link to Patreon down below.